Good morning, everyone. This is a review of the Burt's Bees soy wax melts that can be found at Target, Walmart, I believe Myers. I think they're coming to Kroger's soon. Most of the major stores that carry scented wax melts. Burt's Bees came out with the soy candles. I guess it was maybe about 2 years ago, a year and a half, a year ago or so. And they came out with these wax melts, I think earlier this year. Now, I tried a couple of the candles, didn't have any luck, didn't have any throw. When I melted them, I couldn't smell anything, although they smell really, really good on cold sniff. I even took some of the little candles and I scooped out the wax and melted the wax in a warmer, and it didn't make a difference. So I figured, you know what? I'm going to give these wax melts a shot since maybe they're better than the candles. In summary, two of these were good. The rest, not so much. There's still the issue with the throw. There's the issue with them being really messy. So, all right. So, I'm just gonna get into it. So I don't I don't want this video to be too long. So the first one we have is raspberry lemon. We have eucalyptus mint, fresh cut fern, toasted almond, lavender fields, papaya guava, and sweet lemon. I'm going to open a couple of these so you can see the consistency of the wax. Actually, I'm just going to open one because they're really, really messy. All of the wax is white. There's no dye in the wax. And being that it's pure soy, this is really messy wax. It's really difficult to work with. And I had mentioned in the Facebook group, it's kind of like trying to take out a chunk of blue cheese. That's kind of what it's like. It's like really, it's creamy and flaky, and it gets everywhere. And the shape of the container really doesn't help because it's kind of like a honeycomb shape. So you're dealing with really soft, messy wax, and then trying to get it out of the container is really difficult. I mean, you can see it gets everywhere. It's gross. So it's really got that working against it. It's pretty nasty. The company that makes the Burt's Bees soy wax melts is MVP Group International. MVP Group makes a lot of different wax melts for a lot of different companies, including everyday essentials at dollar stores, including Colonial Candles, a lot of well-known brands. But I think they really didn't do that well with this Burt's Bees. So going to each scent, I'm just gonna kind of give a review of each scent and what I thought of the scent and the throw, how well it did, etc. And again, I'm not even going to bother to open these. They're all white. They all look the same. The raspberry lemon is kind of like a fake raspberry scent with a little bit of zestiness, but I don't really detect lemon. It's almost kind of like a fake raspberry and a little bit of sourness. It's not nearly as good as it sounds, but I figured it was one of those scents that it doesn't smell that great on cold sniff, but when you melt it, it would smell better. No, I was wrong. When I melted it, the raspberry scent kind of dissipated, and I was left with this kind of a sour chemical note. I really didn't like this one. I didn't really care too much for it on cold sniff, and I liked it even less when melted. The throw on this one was about a 2 out of 5, so it wasn't that great. It would be good for a very small room, like maybe a very small bathroom, but it wasn't a good scent. I didn't care for it. Next we have eucalyptus mint. The eucalyptus mint is kind of like a combination of peppermint candy and Vicks Vapor Rub. So I guess the mint is the peppermint and the eucalyptus is the Vicks Vapor Rub scent. It's actually a really nice scent. It has that kind of a sinus clearing effect, so it would be good if you have a cold. When it was melted, it took on very, very slight spearminty, toothpastey note, but not enough to detract from it. The throw was actually fairly good. It was kind of like a 3 out of 5 throw, which was pretty good. I'm still probably not going to keep this one. It didn't last that long. The scent dissipated after about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And I do have other minty scents that are very similar to this that are better. So it's good. I like it. It's probably one of the better Burt's Bees melts, but nothing to write home about. Next we have Fresh Cut Fern. This has kind of a tangy, like a basil quality, almost like, but it also has kind of like a spa scent type note. It's maybe a slight eucalyptus, but it also has a little bit of like an industrial cleaner note, which really doesn't detract from it. It's not a bad scent. The throw was okay. The throw was maybe a 2.5 or so for about 20 minutes, and then it just dissipated. It's almost like the scent just burned off after 20 minutes, and then it was gone. I have a feeling that these wax melts prefer lower temperatures. I melted this in the regular Glade 24 watt warmer. Oh, gotta get that. And I think the 24 watt warmer might be too warm for it, but they do have 20 watt warmers out there, and some of these I used in the 20 watt warmer, and I also used some of them in the 17 watt warmer. I don't think it made too much of a difference. So yeah, this one wasn't that great. Next we have Toasted Almond, and on cold sniff, this smells kind of like a glazed donut. It's actually pretty nice. I don't smell almond at all. Has a little bit of a chemical note, but not too bad. But the throw was non-existent, maybe a 1 out of 5. I barely smelled it, so unfortunately this, like I said, I like the scent, but no throw. Next we have Lavender Fields. Surprisingly, this scent is amazing. It's probably the most authentic lavender scent that I've ever smelled in a wax melt. It's not sweet at all. It's more like a spa lavender. Very authentic, very real, no chemical notes. Maybe even a very slight eucalyptus note, maybe. I really like this one. The throw was actually pretty good. It was maybe like a 3 out of 5, which I was surprised. But the scent only lasted about 2.5 hours. Even so, I'm definitely going to keep this one because the scent is amazing. I've been looking for a very authentic lavender scent, and this is definitely it. A spa lavender with a little bit of eucalyptus. I really, really like this one. Next we have Papaya Guava. This is obviously a tropical scent. Tropical fruit. I don't know what kind. It's a little bit sour, almost like a very slight Satsuma note, which is a small orange type fruit that kind of has a little bit of a lemony, zesty, sour scent. I don't smell any pineapple. I don't smell any coconut, but it definitely does have that sour note with a little bit of sweetness. When it melted, though, the sweetness disappeared, and all I smelled was sour, and then it kind of had this kind of a sour chemical note. It really didn't smell good to me when melted. The throw was actually pretty good, maybe a 3 out of 5, but the scent, no, I didn't care for it. And last we have Sweet Lemon. Really, really nice lemon scent. It's kind of like almost like a cross between maybe lemonade and maybe a kitchen cleaner lemon, but I'd say probably more lemonade. On cold sniff, there's a very, very slight bakery note that disappears when it's melted. It's just a really nice, well, sweet lemon, just like the name says. And throw was actually really good on this one, and it lasted a long time. I'd say throw was probably 3.5 out of 5, which is very good. And it lasted probably most of the day. So this was definitely a winner. Out of all of these, the two that I'm keeping are the Lavender Fields and the Sweet Lemon. The rest, yeah, they just did not work for me. There were other scents there that when I sniffed them, they just didn't smell good to me. If I recall, there was a tropical mango, I believe, and I smelled that one. It was like a tropical chemical scent. I did not like that at all. The vanilla honey, I like that one, but it was kind of weak on cold sniff, and I had also heard that one really didn't throw well. Vanilla is typically a scent that, you know, if you have problems with throw, vanilla is going to be the one that you're going to have the most problems with. And then they had a bunch of other ones, pine cones and something, and none of the other ones, I just didn't care for the scent. They all had kind of a chemical note, which is unusual because Burt's Bees, everything's supposed to be natural. So anyway, that concludes my review of the Burt's Bees soy wax melts. My conclusion is that you can do better. These were $2.97 at Walmart for 2.5 ounces. The ScentSationals and the Better Homes and Gardens brand is only $2 for the same size at Walmart, and they're much, much better. They're, hard paraffin, the scents last longer, better scent quality, duration, throw, etc. So these Burt's Bees, they're really going to have to up their game if they want to even come close to competing to those other wax melts. Hope you enjoyed this video and have a great day.